Stop making these shoulder workout mistakes. Fix your routine now. Have you ever wondered why, despite all the effort, your shoulders just won't grow the way you want? Or worse, why they always seem sore, stiff, or even injured after every workout? You're not alone. In fact, most people unknowingly make crucial mistakes when training their shoulders, and these mistakes are the exact reason why they fail to see real progress. If you've been putting in the work but not getting the results, then chances are, you're making at least one of these major mistakes. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do to fix it. Imagine working out for months, maybe even years, only to realize that you've been training your shoulders completely wrong. Frustrating, right? Well, the truth is, the shoulder is one of the most complex and delicate muscle groups in your body. Unlike your chest or biceps, your shoulders move in multiple directions, and that means training them properly requires much more than just lifting heavy weights. Most people ignore this, and that's why they suffer from weak, unbalanced, or even injured shoulders. If you don't fix these mistakes now, you could be setting yourself up for long-term shoulder pain, or worse, permanent damage. Do you feel one side of your shoulder is stronger than the other? Or maybe you've noticed that no matter how hard you train, your front delts seem overdeveloped while the rest of your shoulder remains flat and weak? This is not by accident. There's a hidden mistake that 90% of people make when training their shoulders, and it's killing their progress. The worst part? Even experienced lifters make this mistake, thinking they're training the right way. But once you recognize the problem and apply the right training strategies, your shoulders will start growing evenly, giving you that broad, powerful look you've been aiming for. Alright, let's break this down. Shoulder training isn't just about pressing weights above your head or doing endless side raises. Your shoulders are made up of three main muscle heads: the front delts, the side delts, and the rear delts. If you don't train all three properly, you'll develop serious muscular imbalances, leading to poor posture, a weak frame, and, worst of all, an increased risk of injury. And that's exactly what most people do wrong. One of the biggest mistakes? Overtraining the front delts while completely ignoring the rear delts. If you're doing a lot of bench presses, overhead presses, and front raises, you're already hammering your front delts. But what about your rear delts? These are the muscles that sit at the back of your shoulders, responsible for pulling movements and posture stability. When they're weak, your shoulders start rolling forward, making you look hunched over. Over time, this leads to shoulder pain, tightness, and a lack of overall shoulder strength. The key to fixing this is balance. You need to focus on rear delt exercises just as much, if not more, than your front delts. Face pulls, reverse flies, and bent-over lateral raises should be a mandatory part of your shoulder routine. If you've been skipping them, that's why your shoulders don't have that full, rounded look. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Just because you feel your shoulders burning doesn't mean you're training them correctly. In fact, many people mistake shoulder burn for muscle growth when in reality, they're just overworking the wrong muscles. Ever done a set of side lateral raises only to feel your traps burning instead of your side delts? That's because you're lifting the weights too high or using too much weight, which causes your traps to take over. This is a classic mistake that prevents your side delts from growing properly. The trick? Keep your elbows slightly bent, control the movement, and don't go beyond shoulder level. Another mistake? Relying too much on machines and avoiding free weights. Shoulder stability is crucial, and while machines can be helpful, they don't engage the smaller stabilizer muscles the way free weights do. If you've been doing all your shoulder work on machines, chances are, your stabilizers are weak. And weak stabilizers mean weak, injury-prone shoulders. Free weights force you to stabilize each movement, improving both strength and muscle development. So if you're serious about building strong, balanced shoulders, incorporate more free weight exercises like dumbbell presses and Arnold presses. Now, let's talk about something that could be secretly ruining your progress: poor form. You might think you're doing everything right, but even the slightest mistake in form can completely change how an exercise works. For example, during overhead presses, are you arching your back? If so, you're putting unnecessary stress on your lower back while reducing tension on your shoulders. Are your elbows flaring out too much? That could be causing unnecessary strain on your shoulder joints. Small details like these make a huge difference in how effectively you train. Another critical mistake? Rushing through reps. A lot of people just throw weights around, thinking that more reps equal more growth. But in reality, shoulder muscles respond best to controlled movements. Instead of rushing through your sets, slow down. Focus on the mind-muscle connection. Feel your delts working through each phase of the movement. This small change can lead to massive improvements in your shoulder development. Now, here's a shocking truth. If you're not training your rotator cuff, you're making one of the biggest mistakes possible. Your rotator cuff muscles are tiny, but they play a huge role in keeping your shoulders healthy and injury-free. If they're weak, your shoulders will always feel unstable, no matter how strong your delts are. This is why so many people struggle with shoulder pain. They train for size but ignore the muscles responsible for stability. To fix this, add some external and internal rotation exercises into your routine. These small movements can be done with light weights or resistance bands, and they'll strengthen your rotator cuff, keeping your shoulders healthy in the long run. Think of it as insurance for your shoulder joints. If you've been making these mistakes, don't worry, it's never too late to fix them. The key to balanced shoulder development is training smart, not just hard. Here's what you need to do moving forward. Focus on all three heads of the deltoid: front, side, and rear. Prioritize rear delts to prevent imbalances. Control your lateral raises to target the side delts properly. Use free weights for better stability and strength. Keep perfect form and avoid rushing through reps. Strengthen your rotator cuff to prevent injuries. By applying these principles, you'll not only build stronger, more defined shoulders, but you'll also prevent pain and injuries that could set you back for months. So now, the real question is, are you going to keep making these mistakes, or are you ready to fix them and finally build the powerful, well-balanced shoulders you deserve? If you've found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more game-changing fitness tips. Let's transform those shoulders and take your training to the next level.